Welcome to Venture Step Podcast, where we listen to C-suite individuals and entrepreneurs to learn about their experiences, or at least we used to. That's what the idea was years ago, but I don't know right now. I'm just trying to figure that out. So I'm back. It's been a while, and I'm excited to get back into it. I'm a little bit more serious about the endeavor. Not that there's any kind of business thoughts about the podcast. Is more of a fun thought experiment and something that I enjoyed doing. I only did it a couple of times, but those times were on my mind while I was off. Probably every 2 weeks I thought about the podcast. Like, oh, I can't wait to get back into it. So what do I plan for the podcast? So I would like to just plan on being consistent, right? So I want to attempt, I can't say I want to. I am going to upload, I would say, at least twice a month at 10 minutes minimum. So I think that's pretty reasonable. I think if I shoot for twice a month for at least 10 minutes, I think the real goal is to do once a week for 10 minutes, but I might run out of things that I think are valuable to talk about. So during this episode, I want to just go over kind of personal journey of what I've been up to the last 2 years, things I've done, and just a general future of Venture Step podcast. I think I kind of went over it where I want to, just be consistent. And maybe the things I want to talk about are my research that I will be doing to start a new product for e-commerce, or just general things I like or find interesting. It doesn't have to be entrepreneurship only. I would like to be able to talk about more than just those things. It doesn't. I want it to be business related, but not necessarily only things that are related to my business or other people's businesses. Yeah. So where have I been, right? So that's a question on everyone's mind, right? I know it kept you up every night. You're like, where'd he go? Where's he been? So I used to just work, and then we had a business, my partner and I, Lisa, we had a business where we were selling magnets on Amazon, and it was actually pretty fun, and it wasn't a complete failure, but it definitely wasn't a flying flag for sure. It got really competitive because our shipment got delayed, and then there was a lot more people in the market, and the ad costs increased, and how it goes, and it kind of just stampeded into the wrong direction. We sold our product, but we definitely didn't get the margins that we were anticipating. And then while I was doing that, I was admitted into USF's Masters in Science and Business Analytics program, which had like a focus in like data science and like computer stuff. If you're not familiar with that things, just think computer stuff and like coding. If you are familiar with those topics, then it was more related to data science and analytics. So that's what I've been doing over these last 2 years, because I had work and then the school, which was quite time consuming. And when I had free time, I didn't feel like doing a podcast, and I was quite drained for a while. So it was definitely an rewarding challenge where I got to enable, I guess I got to enable myself into additional professional situations where I got to work on cooler research projects at work, or I got to feed my curiosity on different topics that I was curious about, like some AI topics and such. I had an NLP class where we built something definitely not as advanced as ChatGPT, but we got to play around with things like that and use generative AI that was built in Python before it was like a big deal. And it was pretty cool because we got to discuss like the impact of how it would affect the workplace, and what our thoughts were and how it would progress over the next couple of years. That was something that I found pretty interesting because maybe a year and a half later, ChatGPT became, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe a year. ChatGPT came out, and then people started using it, and it started affecting the workplace, and I thought it was really cool. Yeah, to see it on the front end, and it kind of just slowly overflowed into maybe a general workplace setting. Interesting stuff. I was also remodeling my Nana's home. That was one thing that I thought was important. I lived in the city in a nice place, and my Nana, which is a woman who kind of helped raise me, was otherwise my grandma. If you didn't know it, Nana, I call my Nana, my grandma, my Nana. And it was something that I thought was important to do because I was living in a nice place, and I would come and visit her, and her floors were messed up, and her place was dated, and so I didn't do it all by myself, but I did majority of it. I did all the hard lifting for sure. My mom didn't do that, but my mom and I helped remodel the place. But I knocked out the kitchen, and then we paid for a remodel. But I demoed the kitchen, demoed a wall, redid the ceiling, we redid the floors, we did the baseboards, we did the doors. We redid the bathrooms, tile work, the vanities, everything, plumbing, toilets, all these things. And we did the roof, but I didn't do that. I mean, it was a vendor, and the windows we did. So we've done a lot with the house, and pretty much the only thing left is closets and outlets, electrical outlets. So it's pretty close to completely finished. So that's out of the way. I feel really, really good about it because my Nana has a nice home, and she is comfortable, having people over, and she really enjoys it, and blah, blah, blah. Just makes me feel good that she feels good about it. So I stopped podcasting because with all those things going on all at the same time, pretty much, I've been doing that remodel for a couple of years now because I was doing school and working. So I just kind of finished the process. The project is not completely finished, but very close. And with all that going on, it was a bit, I wouldn't say overwhelming because it didn't feel like I was overwhelmed, but it was definitely demanding for sure with all these personal projects and my studies and work. So that would be definitely the reason why I stopped doing the episodes. But it was never something where I didn't think about you guys. My 151 listeners, you guys are with me forever. I feel the love. If you guys listen for more than 60 seconds, that's huge. But joking aside, that's why. So one of the reasons why I'm returning to the podcast is now that I finished school, I did some insurance exams. I did like 9 of them. I did my master's in that, in business analytics. I have a job as a product manager at a startup, and every day I'm doing entrepreneurial like activities, and it's making me itchy. I don't know, that's like the best way to describe it. Like there's this itch about me that I have from doing all these things at work that I want to get back into doing entrepreneurial like activities outside of work. So like podcasting isn't really an entrepreneurial activity, but it's something that I would express my progress and such and things I learn while exploring being an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship is kind of an ongoing thing, and and you gain the experience that you need, or get lucky, or a little bit of both, pretty much. And I want to start making episodes about things I'm working on and kind of update that journey, because I feel like the podcasting is something that I would share while I'm on the journey, and maybe people find that interesting, maybe they don't. I don't know, but it would be cool to see like a 0 to hero situation where, you don't have a business and trying to figure it out, and I'm not coming back like 20 years later after I gathered all this information. I'm like, oh, you should do this or that, and I've got XYZ situation and it's super easy. I have a super easy life. No, I'm trying to, I would like to document the journey from two failed, I wouldn't say two, I would say one failed business and one pause business. And then maybe reamp the pause business back up to an actual business again, where we have a product and I'm selling it and things like that. And I just want to document everything that we have, and maybe once I'm consistent enough, I'll request a guest. I don't know. It's an ongoing thing that I'm trying to figure out as I'm going. So I don't really have a solid answer, but I am here with you and we're together on this roller coaster for sure. But I don't want to take up too much of your time. So, I went over, where I've been, why I stopped, and now that I have a more of a settled life and I have a more of a stable routine, I am able to have more energy to do things in my free time. And that's one of the reasons why I want to return to podcasting. And on top of that, with all those entrepreneurial like activities I'm doing in my day-to-day job, I am definitely feeling uneasy. Not really uneasy, but I just like itchy to get started back up again. And I'm fired up. I hope you're fired up. I'm on video if you guys are listening on podcasts, but I got a new, I can't really show without, hold on. I had to show the viewers. I got these headset, I don't know, the headset, not really headsets, but they're headphones. So I have them plugged into a mic now. I got a mic that is made for my room, and I've got a boom arm. I mean, this is for real, guys. Like, this is not something that I don't know. I'm doing it for sure. So I'm fired up. I hope you're fired up, and I hope the sound quality is good, because I upgraded my mic, upgraded my setup, so I could be consistent, and it's easy for me and it's easy for you to listen to my voice. Just like a bedtime story, I guess. I don't know. It was a bit odd that I said my voice, but it is fine. It's fine. We're going to keep it rolling. But I definitely want to express, some gratitude towards those 151 listeners. You guys are huge. I don't know. There's not much to say, but I don't know who you are, where you're from, but I'm glad that you're here, and I hope you stick around, and I appreciate your patience awaiting these 2 years. I know I kept you up a lot of late nights, and I'm sorry for that, but we can't go back in the past. We gotta keep it moving. So I think that you can engage with the podcast on Spotify, where this is where I'm not sure, because it's been a long time. It says on the Spotify app that you can ask questions, like a Q&A, but I'm not really sure, honestly. So I'll have to figure that out and get back to you. I don't have a website right now. I think the domain expired. The next topic I'll talk about is probably my current product research, or some programming stuff, or the previous product that we had, our fishing magnets product. That would be pretty interesting, and talk about things that we did poorly and what I would do if I did it again. But thank you so much for listening today. Once again, this is Venture Step Podcast, or Venture Step. And my name is Dalton, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.